In a Darfur morgue, 20 Colombians lie on ice, soldiers of fortune who never signed up for this war. Lured with promises of hotel security in the Gulf, they woke to Sudan's battlefields instead. How did a paycheck turn into a death sentence 6,000 miles from home? In a mortuary more than 6,000 miles from home, 20 Colombian bodies lie abandoned in cold storage. These aren't victims of any accident or disease. They're mercenaries, some barely out of their teens, who found themselves thrust into one of the world's most savage conflicts under false pretenses. Juan, a Colombian fighter speaking from a military camp outside Nyala in Sudan's Darfur province, tells The Telegraph.
They've kept them on ice. Some are from my intake.
This isn't the story most of these young men signed up for. Juan reveals he's one of at least 300 Colombian ex-soldiers drawn into Sudan's bloody civil war through elaborate deception. The recruitment pitch was simple and appealing. Private security work in the United Arab Emirates, protecting oil sites and hotels for around £1,900 per month, tax-free, with flights paid.
They tell you you'll be protecting oil sites, hotels. Some know they're heading for Sudan, but I didn't. I don't think most of us did.
The deception runs deep and systematically. After arriving in Abu Dhabi with 60 others in March, Juan was forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Within a day, recruiters collected phones and passports for security. He was told he was heading to Libya for training. Instead, after landing in Benghazi, he and fellow recruits were driven across the desert into Sudan and into the territory controlled by the Rapid Support Forces. The RSF, commanded by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hamedi, represents one side of Sudan's devastating civil war that erupted in April 2023. His rivalry with General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the country's de facto president, has transformed into a geopolitical free-for-all, drawing international players into the conflict. Once in Nyala, which Sudanese army officials identify as a key logistics hub, these Colombian mercenaries found themselves running 5-week training courses for RSF recruits or guarding airports. But their role extends far beyond what they bargained for.
Most of them are just boys or young teenagers.
Human rights monitors confirm that child recruitment, a war crime, is widespread in Darfur and often coerced. Colombian media have published disturbing images of children being trained by foreign mercenaries.
It's horrible to see, but what can I do? It's the reality here.
Sudan's conflict reveals something larger about modern warfare. The presence of hundreds of South American fighters in the Sudanese desert represents what experts call a new golden age of mercenaries, fueled by diminishing international squeamishness about using hired guns and an expanding marketplace of available fighters. Sudanese army officers report that Colombians aren't just training local forces, but fighting on front lines in Darfur and Kordofan, providing specialist drone, communication, and jamming skills. They're not alone. The RSF has also recruited mercenaries from Ethiopia and South Sudan, creating a truly international mercenary force.
They don't understand our tactics, and they don't know the geography or topography of Darfur. That's why several of them have been killed. We have recovered official Colombian identity documents to prove it.
Another officer, Mohammed Ali, confirms their presence.
The Colombian mercenaries have been fighting with the RSF in Sudan since last year and are still here now. We killed them and took their documents to prove any legal case in the future.
Colombia's long war against FARC guerrillas and drug cartels has produced exactly what this new mercenary market demands: a deep pool of disciplined, combat-tested soldiers who retire young and need to support their families. For more than a decade, Gulf money has absorbed this expertise into private security units, with Colombian mercenaries fighting in Yemen, Ukraine, and elsewhere at a fraction of the cost of American or British veterans. The UAE stands accused of backing the RSF with arms and money, though it categorically denies these claims.
We categorically reject any claims of providing any form of support to either warring parties since the onset of the Civil War, and condemn atrocities committed by both the Port Sudan Authority and the RSF.
Yet the human cost of this mercenary marketplace is becoming increasingly apparent. The mother of one 19-year-old Colombian soldier reveals the personal tragedy behind these operations. Her son signed up straight out of national service for what he believed was hotel security work in the UAE. After sending one pay packet home, the family discovered he was actually fighting in Sudan.
They told me if I went to the press, my son would not come home.
Another mercenary in Darfur talks about the mysterious operational fees deducted from already delayed salaries.
We don't really know what that is, but we know not to make a fuss.
Escape proves nearly impossible. Anyone requesting to return home faces a stark choice: pay for their own expensive ticket or stay quiet and continue fighting. The network operates transnationally by design, making accountability almost impossible to enforce. Last week, Sudan's government told the UN Security Council that Emirati private security companies, including Abu Dhabi-based Global Security Services Group, were behind the recruitment operations. Meanwhile, in Bogota, officials discussed tightening laws on mercenaries and helping families repatriate remains, though the practicalities remain ugly and complex. As one consul told the mother of a 20-year-old fighter, "Gather everything you have: voice notes, contract scans, handler contact numbers."
I'm trying to gather all this information, but my son is just too scared to give it to me.
This is the reality of modern warfare's mercenary renaissance. Young men tricked into conflicts they never chose, families threatened into silence, and bodies left unclaimed in foreign morgues while the machinery of international conflict grinds forward.